Terry Esau with Free Bikes for Kids, and we are here with three-time Tour de France winner, Greg LeMond. How are you, Greg?
I'm pretty good, Terry. Down here in sunny Knoxville, Tennessee.
We actually have an event coming up on May 1st. It's our first annual global virtual Free Bikes for Kids ride. And it's free, but we're trying to get people to donate $25 because it only costs us $25 to put a kid on a bike.
Wow.
So
I know that's amazing. But no, I mean, it's, getting kids on a bike is so important. And we all know that from growing up. It's like freedom. And we know this, especially now as an adult, you realize that's why cycling is getting popular, but it's a thing that you do for life. And kids need activity. And it is. I've been to your event a couple of times, and it's great to see kids get to see their first bike. Some of the kids never had one. So no, it's really great. I'm excited about that.
You're talking about the importance of a bike for a kid. Do you remember your first bike?
Well, I have a photo of me on my first bike with my dad, a Schwinn tricycle, but I do remember it. But my first, I'd say, official bike was when we moved to Lake Tahoe, and I was 8 years old, and I got a Schwinn Stingray. That was my first bike. And I remember it had the shift left like that, but you had the shifter on your down tube or top tube, just like a car.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'd say that was, when you're a kid, you're just kind of going around the neighborhood, and we were doing jumps and little jumps. I probably got 2 inches off the ground, but felt like it was a really big jump. I do remember one story is I used to go to the Reno rodeo every year. My dad grew up with horses, and that was my annual birthday gift. And I'd bought a lasso, and I got this new bike literally for my birthday. But we were going to practice lassoing each other on the bike, and not on purpose, but my friend was the first to go, and I lassoed him and took him down. He was no longer my friend. It was horrible. It was really bad. I mean, it should have been me. I grew up as a cowboy, but I was in favor of the Indians. I always wanted to be the Indian. But
did you have any idea where that bike was going to take you, or at what point did you start to go, maybe there's something here?
Oh, well, I didn't really. It's funny because I got into hiking, fly fishing, skiing. So I didn't really ride a bike. Used to cut lawns in the summer, and made enough money to go buy a Raleigh Grand Prix. And my dad actually bought one the same day, and we started riding in August of 1975. And so I started riding, and we really fell in love with it, but nothing about, racing. And I was in a bike shop, and somebody said, "Have you ever thought of racing?" And no. He invited me to a club, Reno Wilman, at the end of January. 2 weeks later, I did a club race where I got second out of 40 guys, but we had a national champion. These were good racers. And they told my dad, he might have some talent. You got to get him a racing bike. So the next week we bought a Reno, what was Rick's Bike Shop in Reno. And the only racing bike in the town was a yellow Cinelli, which was gorgeous. But I didn't know what a Cinelli was. And I didn't know, I bought a matching yellow jersey, believe it or not. Then a week later, I showed up at a race, and I won my first 11 races from that point on. I think my first race, I got probably $200 in prizes, like tires, and I'm going, this is so great. And every weekend I was winning, and then and getting prize money, prizes, not a whole lot. I remember getting $2 in it, what they call a preem.
Yeah,
but
yeah.
I just was hooked at that point. My dad too started racing. We were just hooked, and really it was so exciting my first 4 years.
So you won your first 11 races. You bought a yellow jersey, which was maybe a little bit foretelling.
Well, yeah. Well, the guy that I first saw in the starting line of my second race, looked at me in disgust. Looked like he was so angry at me. And I didn't know what was going on. And he ended up getting second. And we were competing head to head. And finally, he beat me in a race, my 12th race, let's say, and it broke the ice. He told me, "No one ever wears that yellow jersey unless you won the Tour de France." I go, "What's the Tour de France?" I did not know what the Tour de France was. So he was my educator. He filled me in all things about cycling, and so I never wore that yellow jersey again until I won it.